Hello, welcome to my commentary. This scene is when Jacques and Michel are at a cafe. They run into the police officer and they have a pretty important discussion. And this discussion exemplifies a Dostoevskian critique and is one where Michel is most similar to Yvonne.
Contenter de ce qu'on vous offre. Grâce à quoi on devient propriétaire d'un complet neuf. Une cravate.
So here's when he recognizes the police officer.
Je lui tendis bêtement la main. Vous reconnaissez? On me trouvera bien étourdi, bien léger. Qu'avais-je à craindre?
And what he says here, why should I fear him? This will tie under the superhero idea that we will further examine in a little bit. You'll see that the framing of this shot is very over-the-shoulder point of view, and that brings the audience in so they feel as if they are watching, or I guess in the conversation themselves. And here Michel is going to share his theory on theft.
Les pas neuf.
Dites quand même.
Oh, and also all the background noise is very muted. There's no music, and that also adds to the emphasis on the importance of the dialogue.
Eh bien, est-ce qu'on ne peut pas admettre que des hommes capables, intelligents?
So what Michel says here is almost a direct parallel to what Yvonne says in the book. He said it should be free to disobey laws in certain cases. This is very similar to when Yvonne says everything is permitted to the intelligent man. And this is something that Dostoevsky would critique because, as is shown in The Brother Karamazov, Smerdyakov uses this kind of justification to kill Fyodor. And Yvonne feels very implicated in the crime because of this and ends up going insane or comatose in the book. And this kind of way of thinking is going to later lead to Michel being imprisoned, as we'll see with him thinking that he is free to obey the law, or disobey the law.
Cela me paraît difficile et dangereux.
Pour la société, ce serait tout bénéfice.
Et qui distinguera des autres ces hommes supérieurs?
Eux-mêmes, leur conscience.
So this here is also very important. Michel says these supermen will define themselves. And we kind of discussed this in class a bit. I don't think that Michel thinks of himself as a superhuman. I think that he admires the idea of the superhuman and perhaps wishes he could be one. And I think he has the misguided belief that if he was a superhuman who was above the rest of the population and able to get all these material things by theft, he would be happier, and that would bring him joy and meaning in life. But again, this is something that Dostoevsky would critique, as we know his whole point is that true peace, true faith, and happiness comes from human connection with others and is not found in material things, and would not be found as being a superhuman, which is kind of isolating.
Rassurez-vous, ce ne serait que pour les premiers pas. Après, on s'arrête.
On ne s'arrête pas, je vous le dis. Une sorte de voleur utile en somme, bienfaisant. Mais cher monsieur, c'est le monde à l'envers.
And here again, Michel says the world's already upside down. We can see that maybe Michel recognizes, it's unclear if he has a sense of self or a recognition that he is in despair, but he is in a state of despair because he's not at peace with himself, and by saying, oh, the world is upside down, that is kind of an acknowledgement that he's not happy, and he does think that there is something missing from his own life. And again, it seems that he would suggest that being a superhuman or being a thief would be able to perhaps fulfill that whole, but that is clearly wrong. It's only through human connection, which we see at the end. He does seem to find some happiness with Jean. And yeah, so that would be a Dostoevskian critique right there on how to escape despair and how to find peace in life. Thank you.